What's going on, guys? It's El Tiburon, aka Retro Tiburon, with another pickups video. This last couple weeks I picked up some VHS. Actually, a lot of them were gifts. So I know I had said before pickups are gonna be a little less frequent, but I got some gifts this time, so I wanted to show them off. Actually, before we start, we're gonna swig of coffee for the work. Alright, we're gonna start with the VHS gifts. These were gifts. I didn't purchase any of these. So these were from my buddy Sexy Chino, my podcast co-host, one of my podcast co-hosts. So he got me a bunch of WWF VHS tapes. First one we got right here is Big Daddy Cool Diesel, which I guess has a compilation of his matches, some of his best matches. Let's see what we got here. We got Diesel versus Shawn Michaels, Diesel versus Bret Hart, Diesel versus Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Diesel versus King Kong Bundy. I mean, the first three matches sound like they're probably great matches because they have great wrestlers in them. And there go my dogs. Hopefully a burglar's not getting in trying to take my copy of Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Yeah, but Diesel versus King Kong Bundy. For those wrestling fans out there, you remember this was like 94, 95 King Kong Bundy. So he was not moving around how he was moving around in the 80s. Diesel versus Owen Hart. Alright, it redeemed itself with that. So very cool. One of the gifts. Next one we got here is The Undertaker. He buries them alive. Let's see what matches we have here. Watch as he sends some of his biggest challengers, Yokozuna, Kwang, Jerry the King Lawler, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart into the depths of darkness. Just like I forgot to mention with the other tape, it also comes with some Acclaim video game hints. Very cool. Next one we've got WWF Super Slams. This is one of the ones I've never seen. This was probably like way later Coliseum video. We've got The Undertaker. The Undertaker puts the death grip on Tatanka. Bret Hart teams up with Razor Ramon to take on Double J and Hakushi. That one sounds cool. I'm a big Hakushi fan. Allied Powers take on Jacob and Eli Blue. Yeah. Bret Hart squares off against Owen Hart. Come on now, that's a good one. And Double J versus Adam Bomb. Very cool. Big fan of both of those guys. Yeah, and more Acclaim video game tips. I'm sure they're from Todd Pettingill. Very cool. Take another little swig of coffee. It's really early in the morning right now. Well, early for me. It's like about to be 9. Next one I've got here. Oh, one of my favorite SummerSlams and most rented SummerSlam. SummerSlam 1990. Yeah, such a awesome cover. And if you notice, this one's bigger than like some of the ones I was showing previously. Like the box is like huge. And at first I thought like, well, are the tapes bigger? But that doesn't make sense because they take the same VHS tape. What it is there's like a little extra space right here. I guess they just wanted it a bigger cover art, bigger box art. And sometimes you would see in here like a piece of styrofoam or something, but this one doesn't have that. So yeah, I mean, great SummerSlam. You got the double main event with Hogan going up against the Earthquake, Warrior going up against Ravishing Rick Rude. It has like probably one of my favorite matches ever, with the Hart Foundation taking on the Demolition in a 2 out of 3 match. Love that match. That's probably like I think I did a podcast episode on that actually. For those of you that don't know, I have a podcast called the Retrowave Podcast. Cheap plug for my podcast, and find it on all podcast apps. And I'm starting to actually post some of the episodes here on YouTube. They didn't have, I wasn't recording video at the time when I started a couple years ago, so I'm just putting up the audio with a still image, but I'm now starting to record the video along with the audio, so it's a little bit more YouTube friendly. But anyway, I did a podcast episode ranking our favorite SummerSlam matches. Actually, Sexy Chino was on the episode with me, and that Demolition versus the Hart Foundation 2 out of 3 match for the tag team titles. Great match, love that match. You also got Jake the Snake versus Bad News Brown. Yeah, that was a stinker. Anytime like Bad News Brown was in the match, he just like would not lose, which was really annoying. His matches always ended like in a disqualification, like a count out or something. I wonder if he was just one of those guys that was like, look Vince, I'm not gonna lay down for anybody. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream versus the Macho Man. Sapphire versus Sensational Queen Sherry. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Nikolai Volkov versus the Orient Express. Tito Santana versus the Warlord, and the Rockers versus Power and Glory. Oh, and of course the Mr. Perfect versus the Texas Tornado. So I actually already own this one, and I told my buddy Chino I actually own this one, so he's cool with me flipping it, because I told him some of these tapes kind of pricey. I think this one's like one of the pricey ones. Not like crazy, but I think like 20, 30, 40 bucks, but still really cool. And the one that I was like most excited about that my buddy Sexy Chino got me was this Super Tape Volume 4. Man, these are so cool. I used to rent the hell out of these too, back before the WWE Network or Peacock. This is how you would watch a lot of. This is how I would watch a lot of my wrestling. Outside of primetime wrestling and Raw, it was on these tapes. They would have a lot of exclusive matches that you couldn't see on a pay-per-view because they were filmed specifically for like these tapes, so they could sell these tapes. So on the cover we have the Big Boss Man. Let's see what some of the matches are. Tugboat takes on the Earthquake. Ultimate Warrior versus Sergeant Slaughter. Texas Tornado versus Mr. Perfect again. Legion of Doom versus Orient Express. Alright, it doesn't list a whole lot of matches. And a bonus, gourmet cooking tips from the Bushwhackers. That's gonna be interesting. I was actually watching this one the other day, and it had a match that's not even listed on here. It had Tito Santana, my boy Tito Santana, versus Coco Beware, which was kind of weird because it was like a good guy versus good guy match. And yeah, very cool. So thanks again if you're watching, Chino. Thanks again for these tapes. I love Coliseum WWF tapes, so really happy to have these. And just for those of you guys that have Instagram and that are also into like this era of WWF, follow me on Instagram. I'm at Retro Tiburon. I'll see it, maybe if I'm like skilled enough, I'll put it down here at Retro Tiburon on Instagram. Every now and then, maybe like once a month, I'll get on Instagram live. I'll create a live. I did it a couple weeks ago with Tylord, and we'll watch these live like on my little CRT right here, and yeah, we're watching and talking about the matches, and anybody can join my live. I think it's kind of, I don't know if there's a limit to how many people can join your live, but last time it was my buddy Tylord and another one of my friends on Instagram, Southside Scroller. We were all in the live on Instagram watching like WWF tapes. So make sure you follow me on Instagram if you want to be a part of that. Alright, let me see what else. I got some other gifts. What should I go with next? I guess just to keep it with the wrestling theme, I got these from my buddy, the Billster. Broken Skull IPAs. El Segundo Broken Skull IPAs. For those of you that don't know, this is a Stone Cold's beer that's sold here and out here in SoCal, and El Segundo to be specific. Sorry, my little buddy Tigger's here. You want to come up here, Tigger? Come here. My buddy Tigger wanted to stop by and say hi. Say hi to the fans out there, Tigger. Say hi to my like 5 subscribers. Alright, get right here. Alright. So yeah, so this is Austin's beer that's sold out here in SoCal, El Segundo. El Segundo is kind of by LAX pretty much. So this was actually a really good IPA. I would be drinking one right now if it wasn't 9 in the morning, but thanks again, Billy. These are kind of hard to find in stores out here. Usually I bought them like from specific liquor stores that are carrying them, or online. And you know, with the online, you have to pay that shipping fee. So really happy that the Billster delivered these to me as a gift. I guess to keep it on the wrestling theme, let me show off some pickups, some gifts that my wife got me from the thrift store. Check this guy out. Probably one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Mexican wrestlers of all time, luchador, La Parca. She found this at our local Goodwill. Not very like accurate to La Parca's gear, but check out the detail of the mask. That's pretty like high quality. My wife thought like, oh, maybe like it's an official thing and you can find it on eBay and see how much it costs. But I'm like, no, this doesn't have tags. This looks like it was probably made by, you know, like a vendor at a swap meet or flea market, or maybe they were sold at a lucha libre show. There's a lot of lucha libre shows out here in SoCal. But either way, I wouldn't sell this. This is like awesome. I love this. La Parca, the chairman of WCW. And she also found this at the local Goodwill. A Rey Mysterio mask. Really cool. It's also, I don't think it's an official WWE or WCW one, but still really cool to have. I have not a lot of masks. I think I have a La Parca mask. So now I have this one. So I have like one of those kind of mannequin heads. So I'm gonna have to find somewhere to display this one. What if I just put this on and do the rest of the video with it on? What the hell is this? See if it fits my big head. Oh boy. I feel like Kevin Nash trying to put on the Rey Mysterio mask right now. Oh, by the way, check out this shirt, Super Elote Bros. Bought this off of my buddy's merch store, Omega Ace Gaming. I'll put a link to his channel. Super cool guy. He probably has one of the coolest gaming communities. Really cool guy. So, Super Elote Bros. Elotes. Oh God. Jesus Christ. How do I... This thing is like choking me, I can't talk. Alright, you know what? I think this was meant for a kid or someone with a regular size head. So I'm not gonna leave it on because I'm probably gonna pass out here during the video. Alright. Last but not least, we got some video games. Let me take a swig of coffee for the working man first. Man, take it. Go back here. This is like my clingy, very clingy dog. It's like that clingy girlfriend that keeps blowing up your phone. Alright, first video game pickup, Combat Cars on the Sega Genesis. This is actually like a really cool, kind of like a racing game, but with twisted metal elements. So you're able to shoot with machine guns. You're able to shoot rockets at the other people on the course. And there goes my dog Tigger. Really cool one. I haven't played this one since the 90s probably, but I remember my friend having this game, and it's fun. It's kind of one of those top-down views where you're seeing the top of the car and you're racing through the course, but you're able to shoot rockets. You're able to shoot machine guns. I think you're able to leave like oil slicks for the people behind you. So really cool. Really, I bought this off of Instagram. Some guy was selling them on Instagram, and just for nostalgia's sake, I saw it. I was like, oh damn, I remember my buddy having this game. So looking forward to checking this one out. And then I got some Xbox One games that I bought from OfferUp in a bundle. Alien Isolation. You know what? I tried to play this one maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and I got stuck like in the first 5 minutes. Like I could not figure out what to do like in the first 5 minutes, and I just gave up. I'm like, forget this. I'm not gonna like deal with this, and I just stopped playing. So I always kind of wanted to go back to it and give it another go, because it was probably just a user error, just me not having patience. If any of you guys have watched me stream on YouTube or Twitch, like I don't have the most patience. Like if I start getting stuck in something, I'm like, I'm going on YouTube. How do I do this? How do I solve this puzzle? Because I don't got time for this shit. So I gotta get back to Alien Isolation. I hear it's like a very, very scary game. But I love me some spooky. Speaking of spooky, picked this one up too off OfferUp. I think with the same bundle from Alien Isolation. I got it. I think I got like 5 Xbox One games for 20 bucks. And I'm gonna keep these 2 and I'm gonna flip the rest. Yeah, Resident Evil, the Origins collection. I know a guy that I follow on YouTube, Moxie Productions, was did like a review on this, and I was like, you know what? I don't own this game, and I've never played the remaster of Resident Evil 1. And I've never played, I think this has Resident Evil 0. I've never played Resident Evil 0, so thought it'd be cool to own. I mean, I got it practically for like, what, 4 bucks? So, you know, I'll check it out one day. I'll add this to the ever-growing backlog list. Does this have tank controls, Tylord? I don't know. I may be taking that back. If it has tank controls, I don't know. Maybe I won't play. And last but not least, a game I've been wanting to get for a few months now since it came out, Callisto Protocol. I've heard mixed reviews about this game. I've heard it's kind of like a Dead Space type of game, spooky game, but I've heard, oh, it sucks. I think my friend Francisco, Killer Rules, said it sucks. But I've heard Moxie, I think Moxie Productions, he said it's a good game. It's worthwhile. So just like those games, I got an OfferUp in a bundle. So for those of you that don't, you know, take advantage like of OfferUp or like stuff like Nextdoor app, I recommend it because it's like the cheapest way to find video games outside of going to like yard sales, right? But so I pretty much bought this in a bundle, I think of 4 games, and I paid 60 bucks. So, you know, in store, brand new, you would get this for 70. I bought 4 Xbox One games for 60. So, you know, like 15 bucks. So I'm looking forward to check this one out. Hopefully it's not as bad as people say. One thing that did kind of already annoy me without even playing the game yet is I heard that it doesn't really tell you what to do, which That's one of the most irritating things in games. I'm currently playing a game right now on stream, Akai. I don't know how to pronounce it. Akai. It has like the cover of The Grudge, the horror movie The Grudge, on the PS5. It doesn't tell you what to do. It'll give you like very vague hints like, oh, there must be something out there. And then you're like supposed to figure out what you're supposed to do. And that really like frustrates me. So hopefully it's not that bad. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's it for my pickup slash gifts. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, elotes.